Hello and welcome back to the Fortress of Solitude. Today we're going to be checking out Darth Vader issue 46 by Greg Pak and Raphael Ienco. The Razing of Exegol begins here as Pak returns to Sabe, the fan-favourite handmaiden of Amidala, as she meets with Waba, a character that Pak created back when he was writing the Star Wars ongoing there for a bit. Waba is a bit of a two-faced con woman who also knows things, and Sabe is well aware of these things, wanting Waba to tell her where Luke Skywalker is. Waba decides to tag along with Sabe since she wants to see her supposed best friend before Darth Vader and the Emperor do whatever it is they plan on doing to him. I really like the dynamic Pak writes with both these women here. They know the score and what sides they play, and are well aware of the danger of serving Vader and what will come of that, which isn't even lost on Sabe, who started as a character devoted to killing him, but then fell into his service. While they look for Luke, the rest of the Imperial Schism head to the red honeycomb zone in space, posing as a supply barge for the Sith Eternal, whose own ships meet with Corlicue's ship. The Sith Eternal worshippers immediately know that something is off, but Corlicue is able to use his hatred for Vader as a smokescreen, convincing them that that is what they sense. This is actually pretty cool because this is actually all part of Sly Moore's plan, since Corlicue is probably the only person who hates Vader the most on the Schism, since he lost so much to him. So using him to deliver the Kyberite to the Sith Eternal and kind of get them through that honeycomb section and through that first blockade is a great smart move on Sly Moore and Darth Vader's part. Pak is off to a great start in this new arc as well, since it's building on things we saw earlier in the book with Vader knowing all about Exegol and how to get there, as well as bringing in some stuff from the sequel trilogy like Exegol and the Sith Eternal and expanding on them even more. He also uses the whole concept of the Sith Eternal and Exegol and this lost world that the Emperor is like making a different army on as a more reason for the schism to actually be a thing and be more assured in their belief that the Emperor needs to be killed and replaced. After delivery, Vader and the others follow after the Sith Eternal in their own shuttle, navigating the red honeycomb zone that drives them to the brink of insanity thanks to the Sumo Verminoth, a huge Cthulhu-like monster living within it, something we've seen before, but I like that Pak is bringing it back again. The Kyberite they stole all last issue luckily shields them from most of its psychic attacks, but Sly and the others are overcome, yet Vader stands strong. Pride, again as the fanboy to Vader, is one of my favorite parts of this book so far. He's just so utterly devoted to Vader, and it's all through fear, and he gets some great parts in this issue where he's constantly trying to kiss ass and it's always shut down by Sly because of it, knowing that Vader does not care for that sort of stuff. Pride ends up ensnared in some of the monster's visions, and he actually ends up seeing himself die on Exegol, which we know will actually happen in Rise of Skywalker, so there's a neat little connection there as well. Vader's shuttle lands and the Schism attack the Sith Eternal, and again, Pak uses Pride to great effect as we see the battle from more or less his point of view, with the Schism seemingly winning, but then Vader loses an arm and is subdued by the Eternal's soldiers. Pride's immediate change of tone from smug arrogance to anguish is perfect, and Pak even makes that the point, as Sly wanted him to feel true anguish so the Sith Eternal would be distracted by what they feel in the man. Also, they won't find out that Corlicue actually snuck battle droids into the Kyberite containers and delivered them to them. The droids eventually come online and attack the Sith Eternal, forcing them back as it's revealed that the Vader they have been fighting this entire time is a droid as well, while the real Darth Vader was hidden away with the droids and sprung his trap once the Sith Eternal were properly distracted. I quite like the way that Pak reveals all of this to us, since it's a complicated or needlessly complicated plan, but that's the entire point of it. They try to make it so complicated that it confuses the Sith Eternal and kind of clouds their judgment, and in that way it actually ends up being kind of a simple plan and very obvious plan. But I just love all of the build up to all of the big twists from it, from Corlicue's role to Pride's grief being used to cloud the minds of the Eternals. It's great. Vader makes his way to Exegol's Kyber temple, and he uses the Force to activate the temple, which goes off like a bomb, killing the Sith Eternal cultists inside, but seemingly himself in the process too. This part was a little weird to me, since it felt like just another excuse to have Pride get a little sad that his obsession is now gone. Only of course Darth Vader didn't die, and he's revealed to be alive on the same page, backed by this great big explosion. It's a great looking image, but didn't really need to happen like that. Vader himself gets a huge piece of Kyberite, but we find the explosion freed Markor from Vader's command thanks to him being slightly knocked about and him losing connection with them briefly. Not that it matters though, as the cultists manage to click a remote and a beam fires into the sky, waking not just one Sumer Verminoth but many, bringing them to the surface to kill the Imperial Schism. Darth Vader issue 46 was a fun, action-packed beginning to Pack's final arc on the book. Makes great use of all the key members of the Imperial Schism while also pulling both from Pack's entire run and the sequel trilogy to culminate Vader's story on Exegol. I am going to give this issue a 9 out of 10.